Everybody, this is your boy, the host with the most, but humble. And I do mean humble, the Dose Jadavis, aka Derek, and I'm here on a Saturday to give you the hungry, happy, healthy people here at Wrestlekram. Of course, this is Wrestlekram. If you're watching this today, you're watching tomorrow, you're watching it next week, I truly do thank you from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my loins. I truly do thank you. Without you guys, it truly wouldn't be me. I'm humbled each and every single time I'm allowed to do this. Thank you so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for allowing me to do the show. If you don't know anything about Wrestlekram, your boy puts out a feed every single Sunday for you guys to put your questions in, comments, things like that. Do that every single Sunday around 10 o'clock for you. You're going to have some great time or whatnot. And, you know, we talk about it on Saturdays now. I know it was on Fridays, but now, you know, I push it to Saturdays. You know, I will say this. The reason why I did that is because, I'm taking some college courses now. So I'm taking college courses and I'm working full-time, you know, part-time school, full-time work. And, you know, I just had to, Saturdays and Sundays are kind of those days that I can actually do stuff, a lot of stuff. So I do this now on Saturdays, okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell as well. So as soon as some good stuff like me pops up, you know, you can most definitely, you know, get that. And, you know, just like I said, sub. We're still on the road to 300. And, you know, if you want to help out a homegrown person, you know, like me, like this individual right here, you know, you can always, you know, hit that sub button and enjoy all of this awesomeness that we bestow upon you guys. But other than that, next week we will kind of change it up a little bit because WrestleMania season is upon us. And before we get WrestleMania, of course, it is the Rumble. So, I will have a Rumble prediction for you guys. So, don't forget about that. Rumble is next week. So, I will have that prediction. That's going to include all the matches, plus the Final Fours. I will have my Final Fours for the men and women for the Royal Rumble as well. So, if you want to know my official Final Fours, you know, hey, come hang out with me over there on the YouTubes. We on the TikToks as well. Don't forget X or Twitter as well. I do have my own Facebook group club over there on the Facebooks, Wrestlekram Super Club. So don't check me out over there as well. 5 minutes in, have not answered a question yet, but so let's get into, of course, Ask Wrestlekram. The very first question is going to be from Larry Gear 1. How we doing, Larry Gear 1? I know you are a Democrat socialist, Democratic socialist. But why do you honestly think Joe Biden will lose the election of 2024 to Donald J. Trump? The reason why, there's a lot of things that's happening. One of the biggest things is that the momentum has completely shifted on the Democratic Party. Unfortunately, Donald Trump is one of those big names. And here's the thing. They're both old. They're both extremely old. But there's only one person in this race that is old, and that's Joe Biden. Joe Biden has lost a lot of the African Americans. He has also lost a lot of the young votes. Democrats are usually around the young votes. There's a thing that Bernie Sanders usually says that I really agree with. He says that Democrats should win every single time. But the thing is, the Democrats, a lot of the people that are registered as Democrats are very lazy. So sometimes they just don't get out. They don't get out. So the bigger the out of the vote, it always going to lean toward the Democrats. That's kind of how it works. But the thing is, there's a lot of things that are going on. Kamala Harris is just not doing a great job as this supposed to be savior of the, you know, the African American vote. She's not doing good. The border is just in shambles right now with that situation. And the number one thing I can honestly say that the reason why Donald Trump is going to win is because they are just throwing him with trials after trials after trials. He's on TV all the time, and he's declared as a martyr now. So, I mean, here's the thing. If all this stuff was like really, really secret, that he was going through all these trials and we didn't have a lot of this, I think that he probably still would win. But you putting all this stuff on him like he is this savior, and he's being ridiculed and monsterized by all of these trials, which a lot of people are like, did he really do it? And it's questioning a lot of naysayers. Even the Democrats are like, not Democrat, the actual people that are actually in politics. We're talking about actual regular people. They are thinking about things like this, like, did he really do it? You know, did he really do it? Or are they really just trying to, put this guy in, we really don't want him, so we're going to do all of this stuff to make this happen. The deep state, a lot of stuff that's going on with this, a lot of conspiracy theories with this. So with that, I truly think that Donald Trump is going to win. I think he's going to win unanimously with this. So it's a sucky situation. I myself, I am not a Republican. I'm far from a Republican. I'm a tree-hugging hippie socialist, for crying out loud. So, but it is what it is. I just think that's gonna happen. And unfortunately, Joe Biden, I think, should have stepped aside and let somebody else do it. Gavin Newsom would have been a great spot, in a great spot at this very moment. But unfortunately, the Barack Obama said very, very smartly, with elections come consequences. And this is going to be another 4 years of learning. It's going to be a learning process. But, with that, yeah, that's what I think. Thank you so much for that question, Larry Gilroy. I could talk about that all day. I do love politics. I'm a huge politics person. So if you like politics, you can most definitely get your politics questions over here as well. I will not discriminate about that. The next question is going to be from Handlebar Mustache 22. How we doing, Handlebar Mustache? Word on the street is that Seth freaking Rollins may be legitimately injured. What should the storyline be now, taking that the title is on him? We would have to wait because we're supposed to get an announcement from his mouth on Monday Night Raw. We will see what happens with this, but I have heard that he is legitimately injured. I think it's because of the springboard moonsault that he did on Jinder Mahal. I think he fell really, really heavily on that, I think, right leg. And you can see he was in pain the rest of that match. I mean, thank goodness that he knocked the rest of that match out. He is a true champion. And he has my all-time respect for that. Now, if I want to fantasy book something, the only thing that I can possibly think of is tape that leg up very, very well. Have him have another match with Jinder Mahal on if it's minor. Because they think it's an MCL injury, but have him probably win again against Jinder Mahal, quick match, and finally at the Royal Rumble have Damian Priest cash that in for him to win. That's the only thing that I can possibly think of, so we can get him out of that situation. The sucky part about it is now we won't have that CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. It may be that Punk goes in as the champion at WrestleMania, and it may be probably a Kuchika Okada. You see those dimples coming out. See, that may be a situation we may have or whatnot, because the Kuchika Okada contract does expire on the 31st of January. So no, we will not see that anyway. But it is what it is. No. We may see that. That may happen. But anyway, thank you so much for that question, Handlebar Mustache. Next question is going to be from Southern Belle 1980. How we doing, Southern Belle? Do you think that Bianca Belair will jump SmackDown to go back to Raw to face Rhea Ripley? I would think that would be a great situation if she does win the Royal Rumble. That would be very fun. I would love to see that because when they did the draft and they switched over, you know, they did have a little bit of words amongst one another saying, I will be back to face you. And that would be the match that everybody pretty much wants. Right now, we are seeing a Bianca Belair may not. Looks like she may be joining the Hurt Business or this new packaging of the Hurt Business. We may see that. We may see probably her facing Io Sky for that title at WrestleMania, or Bayley. I'm hoping we get a really great storyline with this situation. And hands down, we will see with this. But I would love to. I think everybody would love to see a Bianca Belair versus this new packaging of Rhea Ripley, who has been killing the game. So we'll see. We'll see with that. I would love to see it. How about that? I would love to see it. Thank you so much, though, for that question, Miss Southern Belle 1980. The next question is going to be from Black Star Boy 1649. Apparently, you saw TNA Hard to Kill. I did. Can you see them taking the number 2 spot away from AEW? Not only can I see that being that may happen, with them picking up a ton of free agents, I truly think that it's going to be a very interesting situation with TNA. You know, the only thing that I could possibly think that they will be a close third because they're still on their own network. And a lot of people don't carry that network. What is the network? I forgot what it's called. Is it Access? I think it is. So a lot of people don't carry that. So I would love to see that. I would love to see a competitive, very, very competitive number 2 fighting for that number 2 spot. Yet alone that now we may have a collaboration between WWE and TNA, so that's going to help out a lot as well. Remember that when we had the collaboration between TNA and AEW, those viewers crossed over to go see Kenny Omega, the belt collector, when he did have all those titles. It was a huge resurgence on the views with TNA. So we will see what happens with this. I would love to see a great battle between TNA and AEW. They have been doing a great work. They've been doing great work, hands down. Great work amongst TNA. So we will see what happens with that. I love Moose as the world champion. We may see Moose and Trinity or Jordan Grace over there at the Rumble this year. So we'll see. Let's have our fingers crossed with that. But I do thank you for that question. Great question. Great question. Thank you so much, Black Starboy. The next question is going to be from Mr. Greenhead. How we doing, Mr. Greenhead? What are your feelings about Jungle Boy Jack Perry ripping up his AEW contract at New Japan? I don't care. If you want to hear my rant about it on my Wrestlekram gripes, you can go check that out. I'm not going to be very long with this. We all know that he's still with AEW. It's a gimmick. Why would AEW have a huge AEW on the top of their contract? That just doesn't make any sense. But once again, I truly think that he is going to be a cancer, not only to New Japan, but with AEW. I think the chance of CM Punk will just drown out wherever he goes. I don't think that he is never going to get go home heat. I mean, he'll never get that legitimate heel heat. He'll get the go home heat. I did hear something about Bubble Ray or Bully Ray talking about that he could be one of the greatest heels of all time. I'll call bullshit on that. I truly think Jungle Boy Jack Perry is just not that guy. And with him messing over AEW and putting one of the stakes into the coffin of AEW with this situation after All In, I think that he will never get legitimate work ever again. I just don't see it happening. Even if he does, I would have to look into it and see. And, you know, but right now, it's an absolute no-go with Jungle Boy Jack Perry. But I do thank you. I do thank you for that question. If you want to hear my entire rant about Jungle Boy going to, you know, being a full-timer in New Japan, go check me out over there on the Wrestlekram Gripes episode as well. Next question is going to be from Larry Gear 1. How we doing, Larry Gear 1? Do you think WWE is overthinking the Damian Priest cash-in? Not anymore, because we do see that Seth freaking Rollins may be legitimately injured. So I think that the next person who will be the world champion will be Damian Priest. If it's not on Monday, it will be on, it would have to be at the Royal Rumble for him to start healing. I mean, an MCL injury usually takes about 7 months to a year to recover from. So we will see what happens with that. But if Seth Rollins was not injured, I would think that they are kind of overthinking it and see what's going on with the situation. But now we see that Seth is injured. Seth is injured, and he needs to drop that title. The only person that should have that title as of right now should be Damian Priest. I mean, it is what it is. Maybe hold that title for another 3 months and then drop it to probably CM Punk and have CM Punk face somebody or whatnot, because I really think that Damian Priest may be facing Finn Balor at WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens with that. But thank you so much for that question. I think that was a great question. Put a heart right there because I think it was a really good question. The next question is going to be from Mitch Does It. How we doing, Mitch? John Cena versus Daniel Bryan took place at SummerSlam 2013. Why do you think they only had one match in their career? Because Bryan Danielson kept getting injured. That's the reason why. Bryan Danielson kept getting injured. And John Cena was already almost out of the door anyway. I think that, you know, he did give that golden shovel to Bryan Danielson. After that, John Cena was gone. John Cena was gone. He was actually doing real legitimate movies with other producing companies other than the WWE. And I would say this as well. When John Cena was on Raw, Bryan Danielson was on SmackDown, and they never really crossed paths until the very, very end of the situation. CM Punk and John Cena was pretty much on Raw, holding down Raw. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why. I mean, 2013 was a pretty great situation with Punk and John Cena, I think. Or is it 2012? I think that was the situation. So that's pretty much what the situation was. They never crossed paths until that time frame. But I would have loved to see some golden matches between Bryan Danielson and John Cena. John Cena is one of the greatest workers of the Ruthless Aggression era. I mean, he was a dog. And, you know, I hate that Bryan Danielson, it took him that long to get into the WWE, but he did. And he did a great job. I mean, you can only be an indie person for so long until your name is really, really big and you have to get out of the indie scene. But I do thank you for that question. Mitch does a great question. Next question is going to be from Laurel. How are we doing, Laurel? It took like, well, it looks like Lash by Elegance or Dana Brooke is taking or copying Tony Storm's timeless gimmick. What do you think about that? I don't think anything about that. A lot of people did steal a lot of things from other wrestlers, but let's pump the brakes on that. We don't know exactly what her gimmick is. I do know that she did successfully sign with TNA. I'm happy that she has signed with a company. But let's hold off. Let's hold off. We don't know what her storyline's going to be. I'm just happy that she's employed. That's the beautiful thing about having a great resurgence or golden age of wrestling. You can leave somewhere and go somewhere else. That's the beautiful thing about it, you guys. So let's pump the brakes on Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke has been crapped on so much. So let's hold off on, let's see what happens with this. Tony Storm is doing a phenomenal job with the timeless Tony Storm gimmick. So let's wait. Let's wait on it and see what happens. But thank you so much for that question, Laurel. The next question is going to be from a Dragon Hunter XD. How we doing, Dragon Hunter XD? I'm looking at AEW Collision schedule, and they will be in your neighboring city of Bossier City, Louisiana. But that is on the same day as the Rumble. So what will you be seeing that day? Look, I will say this. Look, I haven't watched Collision in a very long time. The last time I probably sat down and watched Collision was the Saturday that CM Punk was released. I saw that one where we had the Bryan Danielson and Ricky Starks going back and forth. I did see that. That's the only thing that I did see. I'm not a big fan of Collision anymore since CM Punk is no longer there. So I will say that I will be sitting at my house and I will probably order a pizza and I will watch the Royal Rumble. No disrespect to AEW. It's just that the Rumble would be a bigger situation than Collision. I will probably watch Collision after the Royal Rumble. I may, but once again, I haven't watched Collision in a very long time, nor do I need to go see Collision. It is what it is. Thank you so much for that question, though. The next question is going to be from Handlebar Mustache 22. Once again, how we doing, Handlebar? Do you think Sting versus the Young Bucks is deserving of a final match at AEW Revolution? I mean, if he likes it, then I love it. I'm not a big fan of the Young Bucks. I'm not a huge fan of the Young Bucks. I do respect what they have done in the ring. Outside the ring is a whole other story. But they consistently have the same matches. That's the only thing that kills me about the Young Bucks. Is it fun and entertaining to watch? Yes. But it's just really annoying because we get the same thing. We get the exact same thing with the Young Bucks. So, I mean, we heard that Sting said that he specifically wanted the Young Bucks. So, we'll see what happens with that situation. I would have loved to see somebody else. Like I said, I would have loved to see them go for those titles with Big Bill and Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, Big Bill losing, and they would have to relinquish those titles, having a tournament. That would have been a great situation with that, but we don't get that, and once again, that was Sting's decision, and I guarantee this match is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a really great match regardless of the situation. So we will see what happens with this. Of course, this is going to be the main event of Revolution. So we'll see what happens with this entire situation. But thank you so much for that question, Handlebar Mustache. The next question is going to be from Mitch Does It. How we doing? Once again, Mitch. Should WWE book R-Truth and Tom or Nick Mysterio Dominic at WrestleMania 40? I think what's going to happen is that Rey Mysterio is going to try to work as hard as he can to get back, and we may have a Dirty Dom and Mysterio 2, where Dominic may get this win on Rey Mysterio. That's probably what's going to happen. I would love to see R-Truth in a match, of course, but with him versus Dominic, I think that would be not it would be, no, let me take that back. That would be a great match. I mean, the story toward it would be a great match. But I think that they're leaning toward Father versus Son Part 2. R-Truth, I would love to see him face somebody of the Judgment Day at WrestleMania, or anybody at WrestleMania. We may get a situation where we get probably we may get a situation where the Miz may turn on R-Truth, and we get a R-Truth versus Miz at WrestleMania, or we may get a situation where the Miz and R-Truth beats Damian Priest and goodness gracious, who is the other tag team? I was gonna say Drew McIntyre. Prince Devin. We may get those two lose those titles to them, and we may get a legitimate match between somebody else at WrestleMania 40. We may get that. That may be a situation that we get as well. So, but I mean, I really would like to see a Dominic and Rey Mysterio 2 at WrestleMania. We may get that. But thank you so much. Your suggestion is really good as well. I really like that one as well. But thank you so much for that question, Mitch Does It. The next question is going to be from a Black Star Boy. How we doing, Black Star Boy? After a super surprising NFL weekend off playoffs, the playoff battles, who can you see going to the Bowl of Supers as of right now? And how about them Cowboys? Oh my goodness. And they just said that they're going to keep McCarthy, which is hilarious. I thought that was pretty funny. But as of right now, we have some matches, I think tonight, matter of fact. But as of right now, I am still loving the Baltimore Ravens. I think I had Baltimore going to the Super Bowl at the beginning. So I had them going at the beginning. On the NFC side, it is pretty much up in the air. I'm going to go as of right now because LA is out due to the fact that they did lose to freaking the Buccaneers or whatnot. Goodness gracious. But anyway, struggling Buccaneers. I like Green Bay. I really do. I like Jordan Love over there. I like Green Bay and I like Detroit. The Lions. Golf is doing a beautiful resurgence of his career. I think that them beating the LA Rams was just the icing on the cake. I think that was their Super Bowl right there. I mean, but let's not forget about Brock Purdy and the team that is just rushing and just destroying everybody they're running through, which is the 49ers. So as of right now, it is completely open in the NFC. If I had to choose, it may be the 49ers. I haven't talked about them a lot on this episode, but the 49ers may be that team. If it's the two best teams in the NFC and the AFC, it would have to be Baltimore versus the 49ers. But my fantasy would be the Buffalo Bills versus the Detroit Lions. That would be my fantasy or whatnot I would like to see. But my brain is telling me that it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens versus the 49ers. That would be my Super of the Bowls prediction right now. Okay, but thank you so much for that question. Great question. The next question is going to be from Mr. Greenhead. How we doing, Mr. Greenhead? After watching both the Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins match and the Samoan Joe versus Hook match, which one was better? Oh, hands down, it was the Hook and Samoan Joe match. Even the story that developed into it was really good. Now, I'm not talking about the Tony Khan stuff. I'm talking about the actual story between Hook and Samoan Joe. That was a really great story, including Taz on commentary. Like, okay, well, now we know that he's better. Let's end it. Let's wrap it up. Whatnot, but I truly think that match was really good. It played a very great storyline for now. His next opponent will be Hangman Page. I thought it was a phenomenal match. Now, the Jinder Mahal versus Seth freaking Rollins match was a good match, but here's the thing about AEW, and I will say this until the cows come home. AEW puts on great matches after great matches. To me, this was a pay-per-view style match. Hands down. I mean, they did a great job. Whoever produced this, great job. So yeah, if I had to choose anything, it was that Samoan Joe and Hook match. Hands down, #1 match. Probably a match, to me, a potential match of the year candidate already in January. Goodness gracious. But thank you so much for that question, Mr. Greenhead. Next question is going to be from Mitch Does It. How are we doing once again, Mitch? What if MJF Brian Pillman AW by telling, wait, what if MJF Brian Pillman's AEW by telling Tony Khan, I'll go heel up and I'll never, or I'll return. Let's rewind that. Okay, no. The next question. Hey, this is what we do. We build as we build as we move. That's how it works. All right. So the next question is gonna be from Mitch Does It. How we doing, Mitch Does It? What if MJF Brian Pillman's AEW by telling Tony Khan, I'll go heel up and I'll return to AEW just to end up showing it AEW at the Rumble? I will say this. This is a great question. I'm going to put a heart right there. I will say this. I'm not mad at what Lexus King did. I'm not mad. I will not be mad at if MJF left. My boy over there in Wrestle Juice, Steve, go subscribe over there to Steve as well. He said it perfectly. I think that it is time for him to probably leave and come back. I mean, there's nothing wrong with leaving the one company, going to another company, filling it out, and then having a triumphant return when you come back after 4 years. I don't think that MJF would be wrong for doing that. I think that would be a great thing for him to go to the Rumble. Beautiful thing for him to go to the Rumble. I just think that he is too injured. I think he's very injured and he just won't be there. I would have loved to see that situation happen, but it does look like MJF did re-sign with AEW. I hate that happened because I would have loved to see him be the guy that actually beat Roman Reigns for that title. I mean, I know that Cody wants to finish the story, but I would have loved to see somebody outside of the company be the one to beat Roman Reigns for that title. But once again, I don't think that I would be upset with that situation. I would not be upset at all. I mean, after 4 years, Tony Khan will probably forget that happened and bring him back with open arms. The thing is with AEW is going to have to start building more characters, and I think they're doing a great job with that, with the Hook situation, with Samoa Joe being the champion. So, I mean, it's going to be some time if they do that. They just are going to have to build some more people up. It is what it is. A Private Party just came back. They're doing a good job. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But, yeah. Thank you so much for that question. Mitch Does It. The next question, the final question, is going to be for Miss Southern Belle 1980. Now, since there are a confirmation that Mercedes Moné has signed with AEW, how long do you think it will be to take for her to be dissatisfied with the company and try to get out of her contract? If I had to choose, I would probably say 3 months to 6 months, because I will say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. The women, they are not putting a lot of emphasis on their women's division. There's only one person that they're putting a lot of, well, two people. Donna Purrazzo, she's doing a great job being built up for the next opponent for Toni Storm. And, of course, Toni Storm. Her back is just killing her. Where the heck is the TBS champion? Goodness gracious. Julia Hart. I mean, goodness gracious. Now they're trying to build to this tournament for the AEW women's television title. That looks very interesting. But once again, I don't. Here's the thing. Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks is one of those huge names that needs to be on TV. It is what it is. And I think that Tony Khan, I guarantee has the money to grab whoever he wants. It is what it is. I know the WWE has unlimited supplies, but I think that Tony Khan can just go into his pocket and say, hey, I can beat the WWE. It is what it is. I mean, now the thing is, would it be a arrogant and cocky move for her to do that? Just take the money and, you know, not be seen on TV. That would be the situation. I don't know her personally, so I don't know what will happen, but I would, we may have another CM Punk issue on our hands. That may just happen. So I'm going to go 3 months to 6 months. That will happen. But thank you so much for that question. Now, I did put out some what ifs or some questions out on the feed for you guys to just answer and whatnot. Now, we did have a huge ice storm here in the northern part of Louisiana. It stopped everything. It literally stopped everything. So while I was here on a snow day, which is rare, I asked a snow day here in Louisiana, what would you think you would have on a snow day? What would you do on a snow day? And unanimously, 63% said gaming all day. Nobody wants to do snow fights or whatnot. So a lot of people did did a hot cocoa and chill and movie marathon. I thought movie marathon would probably be the one that wins, but it was gaming all day long. Got a lot of gaming people on my channel or whatnot, including myself. I think I played a lot of Starfield that day with a little mixture of playing online with Street Fighter 6. The next one I said, who should be the #1 contender for those WWE Tag Team titles? And we have a 46% of people saying other. So they don't want Indy Sherry or Street Profits or The Miz and R-Truth. I would love to see what happens with that. I would love to see who would be the next person to see what happens with that. You know, I think we have the Creed brothers. I think that Pretty Deadly is still injured, so we may not have them. I would love to see Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory if he's not injured. I think he's probably injured. I don't know. But put the bloodline back in there as well. We'll see. But other than that, I thank y'all so much for watching the show. Thank you so much for, like I said, allowing me to do the show. Don't forget that next week you will get 3 shows. You'll get 3 shows. Of course, I will be doing my prediction for the Royal Rumble, of course. Don't forget that you can get your questions in as of right now on Wrestlekram Gripes, which is on Wednesdays, okay? The new feed for Ask Wrestlekram will be tomorrow, so don't forget about that. You know, let's have some fun. You don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys like, share, and subscribe. Once again, we're still on the road to 300 subs, okay? So if you want to help a homegrown boy like me out, you can most definitely get people to, you know, sub for me. Whenever they like wrestling type of stuff, you know, I'm your boy or whatnot. So, you know, I enjoy y'all so much. The best is truly yet to come. Until next time, love, peace, and of course, wrestling.